and I work with the Public Relations Women's Foundation, and we are set
Okay.
up to provide resources for women, platform the work of women in public relations, and we are solely created to advance public relations as a profession, increase capacity and economic impact with inclusive global participation. We are also set up to strengthen the practice, leadership, and institutional relevance of communications through elite networks like our Premier Members Club, mobility of talent. We do trainings for PR professionals and programs such as the Experiencing Public Relations Conference and the PR Student Summit, which we host every month with institutions in Nigeria and other schools in Africa. We are very honored to have you as our PR Woman of the Month for me, Miss Oluwayemisi Adekunle. You're very welcome, ma.
Thank you so much, Esther. It's a great honor to be with you this afternoon. And I appreciate the honor bestowed on me as a PR Woman of the Month. I'm very excited about having this conversation with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Miss Oluwayemisi Adekunle is a PR, public affairs, government relations, and strategic communications professional with over 20 years of experience leading high impact communications, stakeholder engagement, advocacy, and reputation management initiative across Africa and Canada. She was until recently serving as Public Affairs and Government Relations Lead, West Africa at Bern, where she drove strategic engagement initiatives that strengthen corporate reputation, deepen stakeholder trust, and support policy alignment across multiple markets. Our work spans public affairs, sustainability communications, strategic partnerships, executive communications, media relations, and cross-sector advocacy. Over the course of her career, Oluwayemisi has built and executed integrated communication strategies for multinational organizations, development-focused institutions, healthcare initiatives, and public-facing brands. She has also successfully led campaigns that connect business priorities with societal impact, particularly within health systems, strengthening sustainability, women's leadership, and disability inclusion. She is the lead of Results Canada's New Brunswick, where she mobilizes citizen engagement and policy advocacy efforts focused on global health, equity, maternal and child health, immunization, and sustainable development financing. In addition, she serves as advisory board chair of the Foundation for the Personal Development of African Children, supporting initiatives that advance educating, inspiring, and empowering young African children with knowledge and resources they need to discover, develop, and unleash their full potentials. Known for her strategic thinking, authentic leadership style, and ability to bridge communications with policy and societal impact, Oluwayemisi continues to shape important conversations around leadership, inclusion, sustainability, and public trust within the global communications profession. Once again, Ma, it is our honor to have you join us today.
Thank you once again for having me.
You have over 2 decades of experience in public relations, strategic communications. We want to know when you got into public relations, was this something you already knew you wanted to do at a young age? Or was this something you just stumbled upon? We would love to know how you started your career.
Okay, so I started my career, I would say, I started my career as a freelance journalist. While I was still an undergraduate in the university, I was freelancing for a major newspaper house, and I discovered my passion for writing very early in life while in secondary school. So immediately after secondary school, while waiting for my JAM results to come out, I decided to go to this newspaper and show them some of the poems I've written. And immediately I was taken on as a freelance writer. I started writing for the children's column, the women's column, and general features about day-to-day living and human angle stories. So I discovered I love that part of just writing, 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 and all I wanted to do was just write. Until one day, I have an immediate elder brother who had been working in marketing communications as at then. So we were having a conversation, and it was like, let me see, the next couple of months you'll be done with uni, and over the years you've been writing for this newspaper for so many years. What do you really want to do? I said, I want to be a journalist, because to me, what else would anyone want to be than to be a journalist? Well, not like journalism in Nigeria, with all due respect, I think is a good profession, but you have the potential to be more. Have you thought about marketing communications? I'm like, no, 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 no. I just want to be a journalist. Because then, even as a freelance journalist, I've had the privilege of traveling around and covering different stories and doing different things for the medium I was writing for. So I felt, what else could there be? And I enjoy traveling. So my brother was like, so why do you want to be a journalist? I said, I enjoy traveling, I enjoy writing, I enjoy, well, then, like, you could do so much more. You could be this, you could be that. Okay, what about you give it a shot? Why not write a test to see how well you can do in PR? And this is what PR is about. He gave me a definition of PR. This is what advertising is about. Why not do a copy test and also do a test to check where you are best fitted, and we take it up from there. So that was how I found myself at Insight Communications. I wrote the copy test. I was informed that I passed. But I felt, well, after the test, I told my brother, I said, I felt this is too restrictive, the way you have to write a copy and everything, while preparing for the test. And he said, okay, let's give PR a shot. I went for the test. I was told to write an article about this, about a campaign, and I did it, and after I was told that I passed, I said, I love that. I love the fact that you could explore, you could write about something, you could change the perception of people about something, which is what I'm already doing in, journalism, and you could even reach, you have a targeted audience that you need to reach, and so that was how I found myself in PR, and I explored PR for a while. And the curiosity part of me took me back to advertising, explored advertising as well. But my first love being PR, I found myself back in PR, and it's been no going back.
All right, thank you for sharing. There's one thing you said about your brother saying that what is next when he asked you what is next, and I think that was the breaking point to push you to greater heights. And would you say that young professionals, they also need somebody to guide them in making these decisions? Because, like you said, we're just thinking about, okay, what I'm doing is quite okay, as far I guess I have work to do and it gets the bills paid. I want you to talk more on people actually sharing the path with young professionals on how they can be successful in their careers.
Yeah, I am very, very particular about mentorship. That experience with my brother has been my lifelong mentor. Makes me to always give back through mentorship to young professionals. I take time to listen to their passion, listen to what they want to do, ask them what they really want, and try to drive them towards the path I feel will best suit their capabilities and their potentials. And over the years, I found myself mentoring a lot of young professionals, both officially and unofficially. I've done structured mentoring with a lot of people, and I also do a lot of mentoring with people that work within my team. I try as much as possible to talk to them as much as possible. Okay, so now you are here. After this, what is the next thing for you? I ask them that a lot, and I take time to listen and really see where their passion lies and how to tailor their mind towards that.
Thank you for giving back to the industry and for impacting young people. Really appreciate it, because I also saw that the mentorship. You're also a mentor for a recent program, the comms mentorship. Well done, ma.
Comes Avenue
So I don't.
mentorship.
Yes, well done, ma. We also want to know some of the successful campaigns you worked on and what stood out for you during the course of these campaigns.
Hmm, where do I start from with that? Ah, I've done quite a bit of, I would say, one of the most successful ones for me would be while I was working with a pharmaceutical company, and we had to communicate during the COVID-19 experience, communicate vaccine acceptance to people. You find out that a lot of people, especially in Africa, still have this resistance and they resist anything that has to do with vaccine. There's still so many stereotypes about, oh, vaccine is this, vaccine is that. So having to tell people what vaccine does and how herd immunity helps the society, protect everyone and keeps everyone safe, I would say is one of the most successful ones for me, because what could have been a very fatal experience across Africa, we're able to nip it in the bud through the effective communication that we carried out and helping people to see vaccine for what it really does, made people to accept it and made people to be more aligned to, oh, I need to be vaccinated so that I can stay alive and I can also protect the next person around me.
To the COVID, because I was also part of the people that when they said we should get vaccinated, I was like, no, I'm not going to get vaccinated. There were a lot of news that were not good. That if you get vaccinated, before you know, you are going to have
Yes,
COVID, and
yes,
we
yes.
refused. It was really, I think it was a lot, because a lot of people like us were against it, and people were still on the same COVID-19. They're using Africans to test the vaccine.
It is. It is. It
Uh,
is.
so I can only imagine the pushbacks that you people had during that campaign.
Yeah.
How do you work with them to achieve the broader business goal through communication?
Okay. So, one thing I thrive on is collaboration. I always believe that a tree does not make a forest. So in every organization where I find myself, I make allies with cross-functional teams that we need to work together, help them to see the bigger picture that, see, this is what communication does to the system, this is what it creates for the organization, and at the end of the day, this is how it increases our profits at the end of the day. So when you're able to break it down for people, everybody comes to work to make more money. And when you're able to make them see that this is where the money is coming from and this is how working together as a team helps us to drive the income up, it makes it easier, I would say.
Okay, I'm getting from your point of saying that there's income from the comms activities that will be done. Do you think that there's still a challenge in comms people being able to prove their work based on metrics?
I don't think that challenge is there anymore. I believe every comms professional that is worth his or her onions is able to break down in simple terms that this and this is what our contribution brings to the table at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Because I still see some debates on saying PRO is based on perception, on loyalty, that there shouldn't be a number to these metrics because you cannot quantify it. Would you agree
You
with that,
can.
especially Nigerians?
you can quantify it and you can measure it in accurate terms very easily.
Okay. Okay, what are some of those terms that they can be measured on? If you might share more light.
That's another class on on measurement and metrics. Well, there's so many ways to measure. It's not the terms now. The ways to measure is what you need to start defining, and it's a whole lot really. It's a whole lot. I'll just say that.
Okay, thank you. We know that you enjoy the profession and you love what you do. Would you say that along when you started your career until now, there are some challenges that you experience as a professional or as a woman in leadership?
Oh, of course, it's not an easy road to success for anyone. And definitely there has been challenges, but what makes you the best at what you do is how you navigate those challenges and how you look at them and make them stepping stones onto your next progress. So I don't see challenges as something that should not come. I see them as stepping stones for me to get higher and move higher up to where I'm heading for.
All right. But can you tell us some of these challenges and how you were able to overcome them, even
Okay.
if it's just
I-
one?
Okay, in the early days, there was always this argument of, oh, we don't see what PR is doing. But so glad that the industry has been able to move above that now, and I think most of those places where such conversations still hold are places that might not have that global exposure of the the recent trends in PR. So working with global multinationals has helped me to be able to build skills and tools that I use in measuring and gauging the impact I'm bringing to the table and being able to present it clearly to everyone that needs to know that, okay, this is this are the metrics I'm using to measure this, and these are the results I'm getting from this. So I would say that one is not an issue for me now. And one of the challenges I might say I faced in the early days of my career was, PR. Back then I was working in media relations. After writing your articles, after writing your press release, you still need to take it physically to the various media houses where they have to be broadcast or published. So navigating the streets of Lagos as a physically challenged woman was a woman with limited mobility, so to say, was a bit of a challenge because it was in the early days of my career, and moving around, then I didn't have a car till I was able to buy my car, was quite challenging. But here we are today. At the touch of a button, you send your releases to the various media houses you want to send it to.
All right. Thank you for sharing with us. We would also like to know that you worked in Nigeria and you currently work in Canada. Would you say that the practice and implementation of public relations in Nigeria is different from that of Canada? Or would you say they're the same?
That's a very, very tricky question. One thing my journey has taught me is that strategic communication principles, they are universal. Whether in Nigeria, in Canada, in UAE, in anywhere you want to see it, the principles are universal. But the cultural context is what matters. So the culture in Nigeria is different from the culture here, and the way you present things that in a way that doesn't offend the nuances of people, you need to be able to manage and navigate that effectively. That is just the only thing I would say, but the principles are basically the same.
All right, thank you. You smiled a lot when I asked that question. Why did you smile?
Because, yeah, I smile a lot because it's one thing that I need to. I'm always checking these days. I'm always checking that these days, coming from Africa, you need to know, okay, there are some things that are acceptable in Nigeria, but yeah, you can write a letter, you can write a press release here, and nobody picks it up to or chooses not to publish it because you have not addressed the topical issue they want you to address, and they are not obligated to feature it. But that is not the same in Nigeria. You can find your way to get it published, and you can even get it published within 24 hours. Yeah, it's not like that. You need to give them an angle that resonates with them and make them see the reason for them to publish it before you can get featured.
All right, thank you, Ma. Then, speaking on trends, you just said that you also actively track Nigeria to know what's happening. We also want to know, how do you stay updated with latest trends since you're keeping tabs on Nigeria, Africa, and the international space? How do you stay updated?
I stay updated by reading up on the internet, checking industry highlights, checking, okay, so like here we have the professional bodies as well, and we get news highlights about global happenings and trends in the public relations industry and localized to Canada as well. Then I'm also a member of the NIPR in Nigeria and some other professional bodies in the UK. So I get information from all those places and check and really gauge everything against each other.
All right. Thank you for sharing that with us. So you must always be checking and stay updated. So one day you don't wake up and see
Sure.
that things have changed, and you're
Yeah.
just getting to know about it.
Oh,
Thank you
sure, sure,
very
sure,
much.
sure.
We see that you're big on mentorship, but what is that one advice that you will give to your younger self?
I'll tell myself, Oluwayemisi, you will get there. Just that. You will get there. Because in that you will get there lies encouragement, lies the knowledge that no matter what you face, it will still get better. You only need to be more tenacious. You need to focus on your focus, so to say.
You will get there is a very strong word, because we know that this world now, I think the life is currently very fast paced, and young people, you see, someone is at a particular position, and they are saying, I want to get there, I want to get there, but most of the time we just want to rush there. And there's also the comparison, looking at people, say, this person is doing well, let me do well too. I think you'll get there's a very strong word, because it has a lot of meaning, that put in the hard work, do not rush the process, and you
Yes.
definitely get to where you need to
Definitely.
be.
It's very important
Thank
not to rush the process. I like the fact that you said, yes, looking at others, I also want to be successful. One thing I think has really helped me, I don't look at people that, I want to be like this or I'll be like that person. No, I never ever think of that. I always believe in myself and believe that no matter how long it takes, I'm getting there one day.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. Then our last question for you is, how can a mid-level professional strategically transition into a more senior role? What skills would they need to get into leadership position?
Hmm. To transition to a more senior role, your knowledge base about the industry, about the particular industry where you are working as a PR practitioner has to be something that is very, very high. You must be someone that when they want to mention the top 5 people or the top 10 people that knows their onions in that particular industry, maybe you are in the drink sector, maybe they want to mention the top 10 in that sector. You are one of the top 10 that they will call that, oh, this person knows about industry inside, knows about this, knows about latest trend, and then you must also have people management skills. You can't do it all by yourself. You need people, you need to know how to navigate and manage people. You need to know the cultural nuances and the idiosyncrasies of everyone you're working with, and the way to make them believe in themselves, manage their expectations of you, manage their expectations of themselves. And you need to also be able to mentor, because there's no point being a leader without you giving back to the people coming behind you. Who are you leaving that role for when you vacate the role? So you need to you need all of those skills. They are very, very important.
All right, thank you. People management. I got that
Mm,
one. But what about
mm.
someone that is introverted and the person doesn't like speaking too much? You just want to get the work done.
Uh, so public relations is not a profession where you say you don't want to speak too much. You can be introverted personally but extroverted professionally. You need to know how to navigate that, because you can't say, oh, I don't really like to speak to people. So what are you doing in a work environment? You need to be able to speak, you need to be able to present yourself, you need to be able to present the people working with you, you need to be able to present the organization you are working with. So you can't be introverted in a work environment. You don't just get the work done. You get the work done when everybody working with you is satisfied that it's an excellent job. That is when the work has been done.
Super. Thank you.
You're
When you
welcome.
do an excellent job, that is when the work has been done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any last words or any advice for professionals that will be watching this video.
Okay, so what do I have to say? I'll say mentor, build leaders, and advocate for people coming behind you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for your time. Really appreciate you.
You're
That's all the
welcome.
questions we have for you for our PR Woman of the Month.
Thank
We're really
you.
grateful for your time, and we wish
Thank
you more
you.
success, more impact in your role. And this is just the least you ever be. The world will know your
Amen.
name, and you will do great
Amen.
things. Thank you
Amen.
very
Thank you
much,
so
man.
much. Thank you so much, Esther. It's been nice speaking with you this beautiful spring afternoon. Spring morning, yeah. It's still morning anyway. It's been nice
Oh, it's
speaking
the
with you this
morning.
beautiful. Yeah, it's still morning. So
Okay.
it's been nice speaking with you. Thank you. Take good care of yourself, and I wish you all the best. I wish you that you will be far, far, far greater than me, and whatever your
Amen.
aspirations are in this career, God will make it happen for you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, man. So enjoy
You're
the rest of
welcome.
your day.
And you too. Take care of yourself.